And what about you? And here we have early Christmas present, just left by the mail of the royals, and don't like that bit there, charge. So that's an import duty there. This is from our friends in China. It's taken a few weeks to get here, but we're gonna do an unboxing. Alright, here we go. Knock the camera, you. What is contained within the excitement? Oh, door box. Hantek. Get rid of that. In a wee case. Ooh, lovely. Nice and blue zips. Oh, that's all this. Leads. Leads, have a load of them. Attenuator, back probes, have all that. What's this? 4mm to BNC, quite a big lead there. Power supply, USB. Oh, bit chinsy BNC to 4mm, usable probably. Ordinary meter leads. Cat 3 apparently. How are they Cat 3? Doesn't come off. Meter leads anyway. Then the main unit. Voltmeter. That's what it looks like. So I've just put that unit on charge there, and just thought I would give you a wee bit of backstory of this, and why I went for that and what I was doing. So this is a voltmeter. It's an ordinary voltmeter that I have kicking about the garage, and it's got the snap-on leads sort of permanently attached to it. So this is my go-to voltmeter. This is a cheap Vici. I think they're about £25. It's a good big screen on it. Does capacitance, frequency, even temperature. So you can plug a temperature probe into it there, and yeah, it's not bad at all. It's a good big screen, and it's just the LCD. So I was looking at some of the latest Fluke meters, quite expensive, and they have a coloured screen. Snap-on's the same. This here, the other reason why I went for this is you can actually measure up to 20 amps on it. So there's 20 amps down there. I don't know if you can see that or not. There, and it's fused internally. Now, some guys in the internet and the YouTube there have done teardowns this, and you know, the talk about the connections at the inside them aren't great and all that. You get what you pay for in this world, and that's the way it is. My professional meter is this Megger. This is for testing mains voltage. It has fused leads, and 10 amp here fused, and that is sort of like industry standard. So it does capacitance, ohms, and all that. Wee bit of a disadvantage with this. Now, this screen is all scraped and all. You can probably see it. Sometimes it's hard to make out the decimal point, which is very important. You need to know what the decimal point is, especially if you're testing low voltages and low currents. So I was also looking at the wee U-scope from AES Wave in America. I would have to import that into the UK here, and a lot of people rant and rave about it. It's a wee single channel scope. You put it in your pocket, and you can do a wee quick connection to a sensor or whatever. A nice wee colour screen on it. It is a DSO 150, I think it is, with AES Wave have put their own firmware in it for automotive use. But then I came across these wee Hantek jobbies, and I'll just bring this in the shot. I'll maybe just change the camera position. So we've gone to eBay here. Here's a unit, looks very like the one that we unboxed there. There's a Hantek 2D72 and a 2D42. There's also a 2C, and there's various models. So what this guy's advertising here is a 2D7 and a 2D4. Main difference there is the 7 indicates it's 70 megahertz, and the 4 is 40 megahertz. So you select which one you want there. So if I go out of that, I'll just go back and go back another one. There's an eBay search there. There's a 2D or 2C42, and that I would say is wrong because that would be a 40 megahertz. But the C is a lower one again. The D's have a arbitrary wave generator in them, whereas the C's do not. I think that's the crack, but certainly you can do your own due diligence on that. And with the standard one, you get a BNC, an ordinary type probe, oscilloscope probe. So this is an oscilloscope and a voltmeter mixed in here. It says here 3-in-1, so that's an oscilloscope, a voltmeter, and an arbitrary wave generator, all in the one. But I didn't buy any of them. That unit that you saw unboxed isn't any of them at all. It's a 2D82. So they've upped it to 80 megahertz, and it's an automotive version. And the lowest kit you get is the 2D82 Auto 1, which is the one that I unboxed there, and it has coil and plug extension, a capacitive pickup, there's a few back probes and all that sort of carry on. So, which you probably have the most of. So if you look at depending on what one you want, the Auto 3 comes with clamps. There's an injector lead. It comes with 2 attenuators, 2 capacitive pickups, 2 coil and plug extensions, and a few leads. And it comes with our Hantek breakout leads that we showed before. So it comes the whole kit and 2 sets of back probes. So that'll be the 3. The 2 then, I think you only get 1 clamp, and there's just one of everything. And there's a few cracklite clips. So for a starter, if you have no leads or no equipment hardly at all in the oscilloscope range, this I think would be a real good buy. And there's the price range there in dollars. So I think I paid, it was for the number 1, what would that be? $182. It was about 150 quid. And then I had to pay VAT on top of that, which is the import duty. So it's just 20% VAT. So in total, it probably cost me about £180 for that. I think they call it a 4-in-1 device or 3-in-1 device. So handheld multimeter, wave generator, and a 2-channel scope, 80 megahertz. But the Auto one, the 82, the 2D82 Auto, has the automotive presets in it. So the thing's charging at the minute. I've turned it on. It does work. And there's what you get. So it's very similar to the wee DSO 150s, digital storage oscilloscope 150s, but you have a digital multimeter and an arbitrary wave generator on it as well. So if we go down here, it shows you the accessories you get with it. The Auto 1, Auto 2, Auto 3, and it tells you the different leads that you get with each one there. So this is bought from AliExpress. You just type 2D82 Auto and you'll get this up, and you can choose depending on what leads you want. The lowest one you get those leads that I showed you, whether you want them or not, and yeah, we'll give it a wee go whenever we get a wee bit of charge into the battery. Just back onto this page for a wee second. That's the number 1 that I got. So that's all the accessories I got there. So your capacitive pickup, you can see for yourself there, and the Yeah, so that's the one that's referring to the upper picture. This is the two attenuators, two of those, and a couple of the breakout leads, and a couple of cracks. That's the two, so that's referring to the upper picture, as I said. And this is the three, where you get your low and your high amp clamps, and some sort of ignition lead there with a breakout on it, by the looks of it, and all of the breakout leads, and two attenuators and two sets of clips. So a wee bit more onto the specs here. I'll try and get you in on that a bit better. That's better. So let me see, just move that over for you. So automotive function supported there. These are the presets that are on it. So you can see for yourself there, ignition, primary and secondary, airflow meters. So these are presets that are in the thing. Camshaft, inductive Hall effect, distributor. You can read all that for yourself. If you go on this page that I showed you there, throttle position stuff, maps, ABS, digital analog, CAN and LIN, engine stuff there, injector voltage and current, blah blah blah, injector Bosch CDI 3, the diesel there, charging currents and stuff. So they're presets that are in the scope. So we're going on to the specs here. So the 2D82 auto, 80 megahertz, 2-channel scope, digital multimeter and arbitrary wave generator. Sample rate 250 megasamples a second, single channel, 1/2 when you're on the dual there. There's your recording length, 8-bit resolution. Let me see, the one that I'm always after is how much voltage can you stick into this thing without letting the smoke out. So 150 volts RMS, 150 volt root mean square there, maximum input voltage here. So yeah, you could do a petrol injector without an attenuator on that, I would say, and that's your arbitrary wave generator mode. So it'll output a sine wave, square wave, and all that stuff. Sine wave up to 25 megahertz, and one channel output, vertical resolution 12-bit, and the digital multimeter is pretty much standard stuff. I would like to think it's just a few specs on accuracy there. So up to 600 volts, DC current up to 10 amps, same way AC current, our resistance specs and capacitance as well, according to that. So okay, we'll get that charging up and we'll have a wee look at it. Right, so here we have this unit here. I've charged it up, and as you can see, it is a bit of a brick, but it's a bit bigger than a normal voltmeter, as you can see, and the screen is sort of more of a square shaped than the oblong shaped one. So there's a bit of plastic on it there. So yeah, and I hit the button, that just turns on. Automatically goes into that menu there. So let's see if you can see that. Vehicle diagnosis, oscilloscope. Right, I just knocked the lights there to get rid of the glare. So vehicle diagnosis, yeah, maybe can't see it if it's highlighted there. Oscilloscope, AWG, DMM, and English. So it's English or Chinese. So we'll just keep it in English. So let me see, vehicle diagnosis, we'll go into that. Hit enter. And that top one says ignition. Sensors, we'll just stick in sensors. So the top one there is airflow meter, camshaft, crankshaft. If I hit enter on that, there's a couple of options there, and fly straight into the scope. So that gives you a bit of an idea. I'll just turn the lights back on again. So it gives you a bit of an idea, and these function keys here then, so we can just go straight into scope. You don't have to use that menu. You're going to DMM. Now I've only just got this thing, literally unboxed it as you saw there. I put it on the USB charger, so we've got a few bars there. It's been on charge for a couple of hours, and that's the AWD generator. And you hit go there, that's lit up. Maybe you can just about see that in the camera. So we're going to do a couple of wee tests here of a wee resistor sitting here, and we'll just do a wee comparison. So we'll put that out on the stand, like so. Get that in there on the ohms, and we'll stick it on this resistor as a 15 ohm resistor, and it should be a pretty good quality one. $15.7. That's showing. 15.3. Let's keep down to now. $15.3. Okay. So I've turned on the wee Vantage there, and I've calibrated the lead, and it's reading dead on 15 ohms on that one. And we'll just pull those leads out and see if they fit into here. Nice, fit okay. So we'll see what we have. So along here is options, these function keys then. So we'll hit ohm, and we'll see what that says. So there we go, 15.1 to 2. So the wee Vantage there, we calibrated the leads, which knocked out maybe this 0.2 and 3. So it's reading roughly about the same as what that one's reading. So yeah, seems to be pretty accurate there. And stick it on buzzer. So there's a buzzer there as well. So I don't see the capacitance here. Let's see. Amps, milliamps, millivolts. AC voltage, AC amps. Diode test and capacitance. So there's capacitance test in that. And as you can maybe see there, it also tells you where to put the leads in as well. So yeah, so we can just change to go out of that and into, it's measuring the capacitance at resistor, so it's not seeing it. Go into scope, and there's channel 1, enable DC coupling, probe types there, 10 times, 100 times, 1000 times. Oh, there's a 20 to 1 attenuator there as well. That's the amp clamp, current clamp, CC 65.2. So that's different probes, invert, off and on. So you have to sort of go through a bit of a menu here with these function keys. Try and keep it out of the glare. So there we go. We quick look at the build of this thing. It's has that stand on it. It does have like a rubber shroud on it. So it is like a rubber shroud on it there. As I said, it is a bit of a brick, but it's 2 units in one, and it has those presets. What I don't like is the screen keeps turning off on me, or it doesn't go off completely, it dims. So it must be for some sort of battery saving. So I don't know where you can go into it or not. It doesn't come with instructions. You need to get the instructions off the net, and we'll have a wee look at that, see if we can change that. So just for a laugh here, let's turn it off and boot up time then. There we go, and you can just hit scope, or you can go back to that menu there and hit enter, and that's the presets. It says diesel glow plugs, that's it set up for that. So there we go. Just thought I'd show you that. I'm not promoting this at all. I just bought it for myself, for just another add-on. I thought it would have been handy. So it's just about the size of a voltmeter, wee bit bigger, and it has the scope and the voltmeter built in. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed the video. Maybe, I don't know, if you want to try one of them yourself. Not really that expensive when you compare it to the likes of the Vantage Pro, which is quite a bit bigger. Obviously, it's got a 2-channel scope on it as well. But yeah, that one there's a wee bit more portable, and it has presets. So once again, thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed that. All the best, and bye bye.